Hey there, boys and girls. Mr. Schneider here, and yes, you are correct. I do look a little bit different today. I got a haircut, thanks for noticing. Now, we're going to be talking about division and how to use pictures to represent it. Specifically, we'll be using number lines, strip diagrams, and arrays. So, without further ado, let's get started. Whew. Alright, well, we're back in the real world now, but we'll go to Minecraft later in the lesson. Now, multiplication and division are all about equal groups, and we're going to show 3 different ways to draw equal groups in order to divide. The difference with division is that you start with a total and are either dividing it into a certain number of groups, or you're dividing the total into groups of a certain size. Remember that division is the inverse opposite of multiplication, so use your fact families to help you out when you're looking for the answer. Now, the problem we're going to start with today and be using throughout the whole lesson is 15 divided by 5 equals 3. We'll start first with a number line. The funny thing about using a number line to divide is that we're actually going to be doing repeated subtraction. I have a number line here that goes from 0 to 20, and in our problem the total, or the dividend, is 15. So we're going to mark that point on the number line first. 15 right there. Now, the next step is to see how much we're dividing by, or the divisor, which is 5. Now, we'll go ahead and subtract 5 over and over until we reach 0. So let's do that. Starting at 15, we go back 5, and 15 minus 5 is 10. Now we're at 10, and we're going to subtract another 5, and 10 minus 5 is 5. Well, now one more time, we can take 5 minus 5, and that puts us at 0. So now that we've repeatedly subtracted, our last step is simply to count how many jumps to the left there are, which is 3. 1, 2, 3. So we subtracted 5 3 times, so our answer is 3. Now, let's try that same problem using a strip diagram. Strip diagram is essentially a part-part whole model, and so we write the total at the top, and our problem is 15 divided by 5, so our total is 15. Now, the rectangle below it is 15 in all, but we're going to divide that by 5, and we can do that 2 ways. First way is we could divide it into 5 groups. So I am going to create 5 groups in this box now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there are my 5 groups, but how many are in each group? Well, that's what we have to figure out, and it has to be the same number in each one. And if we were to do that, we would figure out that it would be 3 in each group. 3, 3, 3, 3, and 3 altogether equals 15. So there's 5 groups of 3. So that's one way to show 15 divided into 5 groups of 3. Now the other way to do it would be, instead of having 5 groups, would be to have groups of 5. So what that would look like is you would have one group here, and that would be a group of 5. Then I would create another group of 5 because I have to get my total of 15. So I'm going to draw another line and put another group of 5. So now I have 5 and 5 is 10. I don't have 15 yet, so I'm going to add another group of 5. 5, 5, and 5. Now that equals 15. So now that I have 15 total, I see how many groups of 5 are there. There's 1, 2, 3. That's another way that you can use a strip diagram to show division. Alright, so we're back in Minecraft now, which means that we're finally going to divide using arrays. Now, arrays are made up of rows and columns, and they also have a total. And with multiplication, we're usually given the number of rows, which go left to right, and the number of columns, which go up and down. And we would use that to figure out the total. But with division, it's the opposite. We start with the total, and then we're going to divide it into rows, or how many are in each row. So let's do the same division problem that we've been doing, which is 15 divided by 5. And I'm going to start off with our 15 total blocks on the bottom there, and we're going to make rows of 5. Let's do that first. So go ahead and count along with me if you want. We'll make rows of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's our first, oh, hello. There's our first row of 5. Now let's make another row of 5 because we still have some blocks left. So this is block number 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So now we have 2 rows of 5. Okay, but we still have some blocks left over, so let's keep going. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we've used all 15 blocks, and with our rows of 5, we have 3 rows now. So 15 divided by 5 equals 3 rows. Okay, but we could also, instead of making rows of 5, we could make 5 rows and then see how many are in each row. So let's do that. Need some more blocks, and we'll go to the other side. Now I'm just gonna make all 5 rows first, and then we'll just add 1 to each row until we run out of blocks. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we have 5 rows of 1 now, but we have more blocks, so let's keep going. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now we have 5 rows of 2, and we still have more blocks, so we're gonna keep going. 11, oh, that's not working. 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So now we have 5 rows of 3, which means that 15 divided by 5 equals 3. That is how you use division and arrays to get your answer. Well, that's all from me, kids. I know you really want to go play Minecraft right now, but make sure you do your math first, okay? From me and Tifa and Cloud over here, that's all for today. Hope you all had fun. We'll see you next time. Bye, kids.